In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a multi-purpose and reusable armature. This type of armature can be reconfigured to support your sculpture either internally or externally. And with a few modifications and different formations of parts, you're going to be able to reuse this for any style work. To begin, we will need a baseboard. I am using 1/2 inch pipe fittings. These are steel pipe fittings and they all have the same diameter. You will need screws of the appropriate size, a drill bit for drilling pilot holes, and either a screwdriver or another bit to screw your screws in. You will need something to measure with and a pen. The first part of your armature is the most important. You want to select a board that is wood. Wood warps when it gets wet, so you need to select a board that is not particle board or plywood or untreated. This happens to be a laminated shelf, and the bonus to using a shelf is that the sides are also laminated and the bottom is too. So I can sponge this off without worrying that it's going to warp before the next time I get into the studio or use it again. Stay away from MDF. Don't use any plaster or wallboard. The next part is your flange. This is, like I said, a 1/2 inch flange, and the screws that I'm using to attach it are number 10 1/2 inch sheet metal screws. They happen to be zinc. I selected these because they will not go through the holes in the flange, and they are the correct length for this particular board. My board is 3/4 inch thick, and a 1/2 inch screw will not pierce the back or go through it. The first thing that we will do is mark out our pilot holes. Now, I happen to know that the first configuration that I'm going to use will begin with this particular piece. So I'm actually going to screw that right into my flange right away and place it on the board the way that I want to use it. That way I know where the threads stop. So I want this particular armature to face out this way. So I'm going to label this as my front, this as my back, and then where my pilot holes need to be drilled. The placement of my flange is based upon how I'm going to use this particular armature the most. I know that the weight of my work is going to be mostly here on my board, so from the center this way. If I place my flange 4.5 inches from this particular edge, I'm going to have enough length to counterbalance that weight while I'm working. You really want to make sure that everything about your armature is nice and stable and secure. Once you have your pilot holes drilled, you will then orient your flange the way that you labeled it, and go ahead and screw that in. It's easier to do when your pieces are all attached. All right, here we go. Just screw these in. When I'm shopping for armature parts, I get ones that are specific to my current project, but I often pick up a few extra just in case I change my mind or have different needs down the line. These steel pipe fittings are really economical, and once you get the hang of it, it's kind of like playing with Legos. So they are steel and will rust over time. So I'm going to tell you, get a little vegetable oil or peanut oil and wipe them down every once in a while to prevent the rust from occurring and degrading your parts. All right. So once you have your flange screwed in, your base is ready to work with. The first armature that I'm going to show you will support an internal structure. So this piece that I'm screwing in right here is 12 inches long. It is a pipe with 2 threaded ends. That is called a nipple. So this particular armature will require a 12-inch nipple, a 90-degree elbow, and a 3.5-inch nipple to extend my working space. When building your framework, you want to take into consideration where you need your hands and your tools to be during the making process. Okay, so when I put my figure right in there, I have enough space in here to not only model the clay when I start to add it to this internal framework, I also have enough room to build a plaster mold around it. Okay, so you see I'm securing a wire skeleton frame right there. Let's talk a little bit about wire. This is aluminum sculpting wire. It is a 4-gauge wire, meaning it is thicker. Thinner wire has a larger number. So the arms are 16 gauge, so they are a thinner wire. Aluminum does not rust. It holds a lot of weight, and it is bendable with the hands. So in the lower portions of my sculpture, I'd like to use the thicker aluminum wire, and then for smaller parts and areas where I'm not expecting my armature to hold a lot of weight, I will use a thinner wire. The wire I use for the arms is actually steel, but it's galvanized, so galvanized wire won't rust over time. If you find something like this, fencing wire, this will rust over time. It's really cheap, but I recommend staying away from anything that will rust and degrade. If you want to use a thinner gauge wire, go ahead and wrap it against itself, like you see here, for extra support. For an armature like this, you want to secure it really well with insulation foam or little wood wedges so that it doesn't dance around while you're sculpting. The next armature configuration I'm going to show will support our work from the exterior. So it will be an exterior armature. In this one, I'm going to start out with a 10-inch nipple. This is a T. So these are really great because they have 3 inputs. So you can use them to extend the length of a piece, or you can use all their output. Okay, so I've got 3.5-inch nipple that I'm putting in at this level. I'm going to use a 3-inch piece right here. A 90-degree elbow at the top. You can get 45-degree elbows. They can be really nice if you're trying to sculpt, say, a neck or a head. And the last piece is another 3.5-inch. What this is going to do is support an artwork at 2 different levels. And the great thing about using threaded rod is that you can angle your pieces around to support in different ways. This type of armature will pierce the clay if it's hollow and can hold it that way, or you can connect a framework of foam to it to support your piece at different points. Right. So these are just dowels cut to size that are secured in these pipes with insulation foam. And now you are ready to defy gravity.